All right. Thank you, my beautiful audience. Welcome, community of love, wherever you are in this amazing planet. So, in this community, I just remind you that we emphasize the importance of addressing any conflict with love and forgiveness. These two marvelous ingredients have the power to dissolve and resolve any inner conflict. This program is about the spiritual, love, family, self, and money relationships. This is your host, Lilia Ackerman, known as the Road Through Digger, because I am a strong believer that in order to reconnect, rebuild, and revive your relationships, you must remove your inner conflicts to operate from the true self. So, I'm a certified transformational wellness master coach and a self-publisher. So you can grab a copy of my books From Gloom to Bloom and De la Penumbra a la Aurora on the link below. Today, we have an amazing star, and it's Bob Wischer. Bob, please correct me if I'm
Wisher.
saying
Yeah,
Wisher.
Wisher.
Okay,
It's tough. Your accent was a little thick over it. I couldn't really tell, but
thank you so much. So Bob has an incredible community called Men Becoming Better Men. I like his slogan that said, "No man forgotten, no brother left behind." It really struck my heart when I was reading that. And he is that relationship engineer. That I really like your slogan. So what a privilege having such a godly man with us today. Good morning, Bob, and thank you for
you
coming to my show to share
good
your
morning.
story,
Thanks.
your passion, and our beautiful audience. So before we dive into what you do, I would like to know, what do you do for fun when you are not working?
What do I do for fun when I'm not
Yeah,
working?
when you're not working, when you're not.
Actually, I'm fueling myself. I really enjoy working out. Um, it took me a really long time in my life to get to a point where I realized that exercise was was really a necessity, not just for my health and burning calories and staying fit, but mentally, you know. Um, I like to work out or hike at least three or 4 days a week. Um, and that's really where my especially Friday afternoons, now that it's nice outside, I go for a hike after my work day is done. So that's probably one of the biggest highlights of my week right now is getting out to go for a hike and just being outside in nature and just soaking it all in.
That is so beautiful. Yeah, you everything that you said is absolutely true. And I do the same thing. And the beauty about this is when you are in contact with nature, it's like it helps you to balance your day, your busy life, and I, I like it so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So now let's see. Let's go a little bit more in the glooming part. So, what were some of your life challenges, limiting beliefs, and how did you overcome them?
Oh, my biggest life challenge for sure was my battle with depression back 10 plus years ago. I was in the latter years of my first marriage. Things were not going well, and um, I spent many nights sitting at the dining room table with my family there, and I would sit. I remember sitting like this with my head in my hands and just staring at my plate because I was so just out of it, from the stress and the strains of life to that point, what was going on in my marriage at that point. And I heard the phrase that back then that depression is caused by being too strong for too long. And that's
Mm,
exactly how I felt. I was trying to be, a great father, a great husband, a great employee, but I was running on that hamster wheel of trying to do all those things to make everybody else happy, and I wasn't spending the time to make myself happy. So I got into a pretty heavy depression. Uh, Needed some medication to help me through it and out of it. And in the process of that, ended up leaving the marriage because I felt at the time it was the best thing for me to do, for my own mental health and physical health and ultimately spiritual health. So fast forward, 5 or 6 years, my second wife now and I ended up fi deciding one day, and I don't even remember what prompted the conversation or the action, but we decided to start going to church. And I had never gone to church my entire life.
Oh,
I went on and off a little bit because we did raise our kids Catholic, but um, I never really understood religion or Christianity or any, I mean, I believed that there was a higher power, that there was a God, but I really never understood why people went on Sunday to stand up and sit down a bunch of times and 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 it just never made sense to me. And then my wife and I started going to a local church here, and it was completely different than what I had ever experienced before, and very quickly learned that it was 100% about my individual personal relationship with Jesus and how that unfolded for me and all of the things that it's now doing in my life, and the fact that that depression is so far in my rearview mirror because I know I have a relationship with God and I can talk to him whenever I want to. I get all the things I need. I feel loved. I feel supported. You know, and my church community is outstanding, and we do all kinds of things in and around and amongst that. Um, and I just love it. I've turned 180 degrees from where I was 10 years ago, and it's just
wow.
I'm so blessed to have the people that have come in and out of my life in that period of time that have really helped me to realize that there's there's more to life than just going to work, pulling down a paycheck, and paying for a big fat mortgage. And it just I was going down the wrong road. I was the phrase about you're climbing the ladder, you're trying to climb the ladder of success, but then you realize it's your ladder's against the wrong wall. That one always struck me as, yeah, I was climbing the ladder, but I was going up the wrong wall.
Very
And now I've
powerful.
got my ladder going up the right wall, and I fortunately have now people above me that can help pull me up the ladder while I reach my hand back for other people that I'm helping now to come up that ladder. So
That is so
I'm truly
beautiful.
blessed.
That is so beautiful, so inspiring. So faith and growing in the God in God, understanding the difference between religion and Christianity, and that was your breakthrough.
Yeah,
Your
for
breakthrough.
sure.
That is so beautiful. And you say something very amazing, because it was your wife in you, because two are stronger than one.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
taking the decision uh, of going together, that is just that itself is very powerful. So thank
yeah.
you so much. Thank you. So when did your passion on helping men started?
Oh, that was about 5 years, well, just over 5 years ago. Um,
Uh,
I had read a book called Men Become, I'm sorry, um, No More Mr. Nice Guy. And it really made me realize that although my parents did an amazing job of
mm,
raising me, uh, that mistakes were made, and but mostly because they were doing the best they could. They didn't know, um, but that it like you said earlier, we, I think in our pre-call, we men are raised by women pretty much in this time, and whether it's being around our mothers, our grandmothers, female teachers for the most part, all the way through.
You're right.
We're heavily influenced by women in our lives, and a lot of, again, all of that. All these amazing women, they're just doing it out of love, and they're doing what they know how to do best because that's how women are programmed.
Yes.
The problem is that that's not how man a man is really supposed to be. Even and especially in the eyes of God, we're supposed to lead. We're supposed to be strong. We're supposed to take the initiative and take action. And
Yes.
unfortunately, we are learning and teaching the opposite to generations of men now.
Mhm.
And we as men, we get to a point where it's just all of a sudden it's like I can't do this anymore. And I saw a Facebook post yesterday. A friend of mine at church, she posted about a young man who took his own life because he couldn't he couldn't overcome the grief that he was feeling uh, based on a situation that happened in his life. And that's where men are, whether it's women leaving us in a divorce, or loss of a child, or loss of a job, loss of identity, all plays a huge piece in it. And when men get broken like that, we really don't have, because we are not spending enough time with other men,
Mhm.
we don't have the tools and resources at our disposal to feel like we can talk about these things and ask for help.
You're
So back to
absolutely right. Yes.
Yes. So back to your question, what really got me, 5 years ago, is I read that book, realized that men need to be in community, and I started them. Because one didn't exist near me from all the research I could do, I created one, and it's called Men Becoming Better Men, and that's ultimately become my, not only the name of the group, but it's because I've transitioned to Men Becoming Better Men Coaching. That's my coaching business. And just the phrase itself speaks to me in so many different ways, because
Yes.
not only do we want to be better, we want to be better for ourselves internally, because there's that internal fire that pulls us towards wanting. We know we want to be better, we just don't know how. And
Exactly.
that's where the group comes in, is because these men, oddly enough, they show up. I've advertised more or less by one means for all this time through Meetup, and men just show up and they find it. And the sad thing is they're searching for it. The men that are able to wake up and realize that, I really need to be in community with other men, seek it out. And it's become, I hate to use the word because it sounds kind of woo woo, but it's magical when men show up and they're able to be vulnerable and they're able to be real. There is so much healing that happens from all those wounds and all the misguided, like, lovingly misguided things that we learned when we were growing up,
Yes.
that only being able to sit down and talk to another man about it can really help us to overcome those things and heal from them and regain that power that we've lost or that we're missing.
Yes, and you're right, everything is started in, well, not everything, but most of the issues that we have to carry in our lives in our childhood from
Mhm.
our givers. And I mean, I work with men and women, but mostly women. But when I get to know your job, your work, and the impact that you're making in men's life, is your services are much needed, because we as a women, we can get away with crying, get away with drama, get away with a lot of stuff to express our emotions. And but men, they don't, especially if you grow up in a small society, like when I grew up, it was practically men. I don't remember ever seeing a man crying. But I mean, my parents were divorced, but I saw my mom, how my mom was raising a macho, not a man, but a macho, because women do this, men don't do that. So yeah, women are misleaded, but men also. So both parts need to understand each other. We need to understand that we are created in with different components. We're born with different components, and it's our natural way. It is not something that we created. So understanding each other, even the brain, how the brain works from men and women, it is, if we understand each other, we can respect and love each other and accept in each other our differences. So I'm so happy to be part of this interview today, because we can bring these marvelous words that God created to become one, to become one. So thank you.
Yeah.
So let me what is the full idea about okay, well, that was my next question, but I think you you answered it, that becoming better men, but you just give me an explanation on that. So what have you discovered that is affecting men's identity at the present moment?
What is affecting men's identity?
Because I'm been reading and listening with all of these feminist movements, that men, they don't know what is their place anymore, because a lot of them, they feel guilty for all the I see it more like an awakening. I see it like an attack from the feminist movements. So
Okay.
what do you see that is
Yeah,
affecting them?
really what I see is that mostly, anyway, what I see is especially the single guys,
Okay.
um, the single men, they're really struggling to find, you know, you know, significant others, or, dating partners, whatever you want to call them. That's probably one of the biggest frustrations that they have right now. And I know women have it too. It's just it seems like it's we're, instead of getting closer together and understand, like you said, understanding that we both have certain strengths, we both have certain needs that we can work together and work on. We're using those to we're using those to divide ourselves.
Yes.
Um, it's just there's so many guys that I work with and know that they want to have that solid, stable relationship. They want to have somebody to come home to, that, and I know it's old school traditional, but they want to have somebody that they can come home to and just be with, and and I know that's my case. I love to come. I don't come home expecting my wife to have, dinner on the table and, the house to be immaculate. We work on that stuff together. So it's not even that. It's just that partnership, and that, um, having somebody to come home to when you have a bad day. And I just told this story on a previous interview, that my wife and I have gotten very good at understanding each other's love languages, and that's such a key to how our relationship works and why it works so well, is because she knows what mine are and she feeds into those, and I know what hers are and I feed into those. And I know that in the past, when I didn't understand what those were, that I wanted my love language and I wanted her to give it to me in my way, and I wanted to give my love language, what I wanted to give to her. Unfortunately, she was we were almost completely the opposite in that regard. Whereas I'm a physical touch. She's a like an anti-physical touch. So it made it very difficult for us to coexist in me getting my needs filled either way when she was opposed to either filling my needs or receiving what I thought she wanted because that's what I want. So that was where all that tension and stuff came in. So um, being able to understand that and understand that your partner has different needs and needs different things, and then being able to give those in a way that she receives and that she wants is a huge part of it. And honestly, the feminine masculine, battle with each other is just that people are different. There are certain women that want, if a woman wants to be a leader and she wants to be, have, a high business acumen and respect and all of those things that women have been striving for decades, I'm all for that. That's amazing. It's awesome. My daughter is in medical school trying to become a doctor right now. I'm all for it. I love that women rise up. I love that they take control. I love that they express what they want. But we also have a bunch of men that are sitting there going, well, wait a minute now, if she's going to be the leader and she's going to be the breadwinner, how does that, what does that do to me? And some guys can handle that, and some guys can't handle that. Again, to me, it's a matter of finding the right two people that that are meant to be together and coexist. And I think we've even from our generation and earlier, I mean, the kids now, I don't know how they're coping with it, but back before we had the internet and you had dialing phones and all that stuff, it was really hard to meet people. It's not like you can go on social media right now and see 1,000 different people in 15 minutes.
Yes.
We'd see, you got a handful of kids in your class at school and maybe a few more on the bus, and you weren't around that many people. So it was, finding somebody. You didn't have as many to choose from in that pool of people where you could actually find that person that was, compatible in every way. But I, like I said, just told my previous interview, is that you got to keep it as tedious and as hard as it is. If you got to date 50 people, go on 50 first dates, the promo of the movie there.
Yeah.
You got to go on 50 first dates to find one person that you're compatible with, that you understands your love language and understands could give and take and all that, and be on the same page with you. And most importantly, and I love this piece of advice, um, for both men and women when they're in that dating kind of realm, is to make sure that person on the other side is into personal growth and personal development. Because the phrase hurt people. You get somebody that isn't willing or able to figure out all of those things that have happened to them in their past and their history. It's going to be a never ending battle. And that's how it was with my first marriage. We were just in a never ending battle of putting basically our wounds onto each other and beating each other up for having them, and not dealing with them and all that other stuff. And it's just it's a tragedy that we're not able to heal all those things somehow before we start this foray into relationships and trying to find our quote unquote soulmate, when we really don't even know who we are, let alone who we want or who we want to be.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
you're absolutely right. That's one of my programs is Be Ready for Love. Be ready for love, because then and I ask this question. I mean, who is looking for love? Who? A broken version? Because if you are the broken version looking for love, you're gonna attract, because we attract.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna attract somebody that is gonna be part of continue our brokenness. And it's very sad because not everybody, like you mentioned, are really or want to invest in working on themselves. And it's part of also of our learning because we are taught to buy shoes and buy purses and buy men equipment for I don't know, different golf things or things for cars or whatever, but we are not learned to invest in ourselves. And that it is, I mean, and even, and it doesn't matter the age that we have, that we are, that we can grow up, we can learn, there's new things, that we are creatures evolving. There's this constant evolvement, and that's the beauty. People believe because you are 50 you're done, I mean, forget it. Right now you should be thinking, go play bingo. And that's your life. No, there's way more than that. And
Yes.
yes, but I'm glad that you discover all of these things from your previous experiences, and that you can apply everything, uh, because we learn from our previous experiences, rather than continue to the next one in the endless pain and suffering and frustration, because you start believing that love is not real, and so on. But through you, that you overcome all of these challenges, these limiting beliefs, that you found the breakthrough through God, together with your wife, and you speak in different language, the language of love that you mentioned. I like that. Thank you. So what is one key that helps family to stay together?
I'm sorry, say again.
What is one key that helps family to stay together as
Oh,
the
key.
as
Yeah.
yeah, as the whole family?
Yeah. Yeah, it's communication
Beautiful,
is really the key.
beautiful,
Um,
beautiful.
being able to be on the same page, with your spouse, with your kids, yeah, and being open, and that's probably the hardest thing for people to do, is to be open and not feel like they're going to be shamed or guilted for something they want to do, or a lot of a lot of the protectionism, from parents today, helicopter parents type thing, where they really can't articulate to their kids why they're trying to be so protective, and the kids can't articulate to the parents, why I need to be so independent. Um, but to be able to find a way to communicate those things, yeah, that would be a huge key for.
Communication. I'm gonna write it down. So the first one is communication. Yeah, I totally agree with that. And openness. Openness. And of course, when you say in the same page, your second answer, I'm assuming, and correcting me if I'm wrong, when you say in the same page, meaning after the communication, the understanding, the openness, we are in the same page, not because we believe the same thing or because we want to do the same thing, but to understanding where the family is, or whatever topic you're talking, or whatever issue you're going through the family, you become to this openness and communication, to the understanding, and then take you to the same page.
Right. Yeah. It doesn't
Yes,
doesn't mean we're definitely not, maybe not in agreement about what's going on, but at least we have an understanding of what each
beautiful,
other's motivations are.
beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. Okay. Um, what are your top core values?
Top core values,
Mhm.
honesty,
Beautiful. Okay.
uh, definitely love,
Okay.
and probably intentionality. I'm not sure
Oh,
that's
I
a
like
value,
that. Oh, I
but
like that. Yes, yes,
I've been getting a lot of intentionality in my life lately. You know, taking action that's intentional and meaningful, and
okay. Yes,
not just doing things to check boxes, but doing things to
exactly.
further, whether it's further my mission or the kingdom of God or whatever it is, just to do things that are bigger than me, and trying to help the most people possible.
Yes, 100%, 100%. Um, so what is your best advice for men?
Best advice for men:
Yes.
learn how to ask for help.
Oh,
Learn how to ask
cute.
for help. And actually, my wife and I were talking about this last night. Is just we grow up in this in such a competitive natured, world where we're, boys, we're competing against each other for sports, we're competing against each other for girls. We get this, you know competition just drilled into our psyche, and we start seeing each other as adversaries. And then comes the day where we need help, and there's just certain things that you can't get your mom or your wife or your girlfriend to help you with. There's things that you need another man who's been there and understands it, and can guide you through that. I think about the thousands and thousands of men who've taken their own lives over the last decades.
Yes,
They felt like there was they were in such a box that they could not ask anybody for help. And it's a tragedy, and it's so short-sighted of men that I love when so it I mean, think about it this way. When somebody asks you for help, how good does it make you feel?
yeah,
Makes you feel outstanding, doesn't it? That you can serve, and it doesn't matter, man, woman, child, doesn't matter. But what we get so inside our heads as men, that I have to be strong, I have to be tough, I can't show fear, can't show weakness, I can't, so I therefore I can't ask for help. And we get stuck in that box, and then it just goes all kinds of wrong. And to be able to open up and have a group of men, or even just a one man or two, let alone a group that you can count on, is extremely powerful. I actually have I realized this the other day. I think I have like four different groups of men that I can engage with on a regular basis. Four different and distinct groups. They all have their strengths, they all have their weaknesses, but they're all there if I need them. And if I need help, or if I want to, if I decide, like this morning, one of my groups, we have a group chat, and I put a message in there today. I said, "Hey guys, I've got a really busy day today. I've got a lot on my plate, but I'm meeting it head on. I'm doing it intentionally, and I wish you all the best day that you can possibly have. Go slay it." And just to be able to do something like that, and have it be received by someone that was maybe like me 10 years ago, who was, sitting at the kitchen table like this, to hear that, and have you just to know that there's another man in his corner. It's powerful.
yes, and yes, it
Like
is.
we all need that.
Yes, it is. Yes, I mean, like for some reason, I didn't know how to ask for help. I didn't, or to accept help. But until somebody, I don't remember what she wanted to do for me, but I keep saying no to everything. And then one time she said, "You know what? I don't know why you're not accepting my help, but if you don't do that, you are taking away my gift." Like,
Yeah.
you're what? Yeah, you're taking away my gift. How am I taking your gift away? But she explained me, and then I realized that, for some reason, I used to believe that I have to do everything. I have to do everything, and asking for help, it was not an option. So when I accept that what she wanted to do for me, I felt completely uncomfortable, but I like it.
Yeah.
So, and then I learned how to do that. So in a man, I mean, I'm a woman. In a man, I can imagine how hard it is. But it's beautiful that you are teaching and you are promoting this, because men or women, we're human.
Hmm.
We're human. And I believe that needing somebody's services or somebody's attention, or uh, listening, or advice, or a word of kindness, we are we are born to be connected with each other. We
Absolutely.
are born to be connected. We need each other since we born. I believe that's the first lesson and the last lesson before we leave this world. Because we born, we need. And we die, as much as independent as we are, well, we slow down. We slow
Mhm.
down. There's somebody else next to us just in case we need them. But then that's the last lesson that we go through from this war. So I'm learning so much from you today, and I hope, and I believe, no, I hope our audience are paying attention for everything that you're saying, uh, learning more from the men's world perspective. So, how do you show up in the world today?
How do I show up?
Yes.
Lately, I'm getting out there. It's actually the reason I'm on this podcast is um, the mentor that I'm working with said this is what I needed to do to get out, not only to get out of my own way, but to get out and let people hear my story, let people hear my passion and what it is that I do and what I want to do and how I can help. Because like you said, it's the people not asking me for help is taking away my gift. I have so much gift to give. It's funny. I had somebody the other day say, "Well, yeah, if it's not too much, if you're not too busy to get me in your schedule," I say,
So sweet.
I will make room for you in my schedule if
Oh
it
my
helps
God.
you get ahead in your life. It's
Oh,
just it's what I want to do. I've been doing um, a lot of mundane things for a lot of years with my career, and I'm so done with that. I want to be out there. I want to be helping people. I actually have some new business cards that are showing up today, and I can't wait for them to get here because I want to hand them out to people and just say, hey, if you know anybody that needs to talk about relationships with their themselves, others, God, whomever, here's my
yeah.
card, and I just want to have conversations with people. Every time I do a door is opened, a heart is opened, a a wall is broken down, whatever it is, and my goal is just to know that I helped one person in one way, and then they go on to help somebody else, and they go on to help somebody else, and they help somebody else. That's the world I live in. Whether or not it's actually happening out there, I don't know. I'm sure with the elections and things coming up, people are at each other's throats, but
Yeah.
I don't pay any attention to it.
Yeah. We don't have time for that.
I
We
don't have
don't
time for
have
that.
time for that. Well, that was a a very sweet answer. You are visible. You are at the service of people. You are at the service of the kingdom of heaven. You are at the service of the world. You are at service of humanity. No matter what time is it, no matter if you will feed them in your schedule. I really like that. You want your presence to be there, and to understand and to guide people, especially men. So, and I mean, by helping men, you're helping a family. You're
Yeah,
helping the community. You are changing not just one life, but you are changing the surroundings. And that's power, because then is the community, and then is the country, and then is the world. So thank you, Bob. Thank you. And how people can be in touch with you?
Yeah, you can find me either through my website, which is www.menbecomingbettermen.com, all one word. You can also find me on Instagram as the Relationship Engineer. Same on TikTok, the Relationship Engineer. And then I also have a private Facebook group that's called Men Becoming Better Men as well, but you have to actually find it through a search and request to join it. And obviously, any man is welcome there.
Beautiful, beautiful. And don't worry, I'm gonna have the links below below this video, and all the links that Bob just mentioned. And I thank you so much. This is a very enlightening interview. Your answers, your presence, uh, everything that you're doing for this world. I really, really thank you, Bob.
Thank you for having me.
So I'm sorry. Hmm. So I hope, beautiful audience, that you are ready to take action and start practicing what you have learned from our today's guest, Bob Wischer, the relationship engineer. So if you know any man that you know that needs to be a better man, please share this video and share Bob's information. So my name is Lilia, your host, and thank you for listening. If you have any question, any suggestion, topic, or want to order my books, you can do through my website, liliaackermancoach.com, and then just click the link below. Please don't forget to share, like, comment, and subscribe to the program. And this is the only way that this message can continue rolling. So thank you for my heart. See you next time. Until then, remember to forgive more. And what is the other answer? To love more. All right. Thank you so much. We're going
Thank
to
you.
stop the recording.